Scotty, help me understand what the play is on playing with the fact that Harris isn't a mom.
Well, let me point out, you're only going to be insulted if you're looking to be insulted. And right now, the Democrats are looking to be insulted because overall, they're seeing that soccer moms, the closer that we get to November, are not just lock in step with what they want women to be to vote for Kamala Harris just because she's a woman. So their second strategy is to try to divide us. And how you're going to do that is because you have those women that have children and they want to divide it from those women that do not, because they feel like they're going to have a better chance making sure they turn up to the polls to vote for Kamala Harris, those that are single, than those with children who actually are having to not only think about themselves, but think about the future for their children in mind when they step into the polls that day.
But you are the ones drawing the distinction. The question is, does it work for you? Rena Shaw, when we see this with IVF, why does this matter? Is this why Harris had a surge with women in recent measurement polls over Trump? Do you think this issue is resonating, or is it more just the personality contest?
Draw a direct line back to J.D. Vance's debut after the RNC. You know, those comments of childless cat ladies really stuck me because I have 3 children of my own. They're great. I never wanted them before I had them, which is kind of crazy to think of. I was somebody that was raised up to believe that I could be something more than just a mother. And now that I have that great gift, I feel super fulfilled by it. But I realize not everybody wants kids. There are people who are child-free by choice. There are people who are child-free because of circumstances out of their control. And we do not, as a Republican Party, need to be attacking those people. You know, that phrase, childless, denotes, I mean, that they're a separate demographic or something of the population, that they somehow are not as patriotic as we are, that they somehow do not contribute to society like I do with me and my kids. I mean, it's all very divisive, and it started with Vance. And now it's like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's trying to have Vance's back, but she's just doubling down on the idiocracy. She didn't have to wade into these waters of saying that Kamala Harris is not humble. She's a stepmom. And look, last I checked, I think I have my history straight. There's never been a president of the United States that's given birth. And so her, if she wins, is no different. I mean, look, she's still a mom. And I think at the end of the day, this is a bad issue for Republicans to be doubling down on. And this vote in the Senate makes Republicans look like they need to be eating humble pie here.
Scotty disagrees because?
Oh, well, that you're bringing in IVF, first of all, there's dueling bills right now in the Senate. So let's actually get the facts straight. This was the Democrats' bill, and it wasn't just a straight IVF protection bill like the Republicans' bill that was proposed back in June by Senator Ted Cruz and Katie Britt. This was also about taxpayer-funded IVF for transgenders who chose to castrate themselves and then wanted to create a civil rights for transgenders to pursue gene therapy, sex selection, and cloning technology. That's why this bill got struck down. And it's just a copycat bill because Democrats realized that Republicans had this back in the spring, and they decided that they were going to try to find some way to take that wind out of the sails. But the truth will always prevail. I do have to take one issue with what Nina said. More than just a mom. We never say more than just a doctor. We never say more than just a broadcaster. So I take very offense to more than just a mom. A mom is a fulfilling career. And I think that's part of the problem. Is the left wants you to make you feel like that you have to be more than just a mom. A mom is enough of a career. That is just as great of a career as anything else. Some might even say better. So let's also, on our side, try to, don't fall for the left talking points. You can still not like Trump and also support moms and women. Say that is a great, excellent career choice.
But Scotty, I get that and I agree, but for centuries, that's all we've been. And now women are going out of that box and making choices. And because they're making those choices, they're delaying starting a family. And so what we have to realize about the modern woman is that I celebrate stay-at-home moms, but we have a chance to do more than motherhood now. And that's all I'm saying here is that we have choices beyond that. For the longest time, that was our only choice. And nobody's demonizing it except for J.D. Vance, who says it's childless. Why can't we say child-free? You know, this is the problem here, is that we are looking like we're the party of no. As conservatives, we want freedom. As a freedom-loving American woman, we should have women who want in our party who say, you know what? I want the freedom to use modern, advanced medical technologies to delay starting a family until I feel like I'm ready.
All right.
We don't. That's what we do as Republicans. We want family.
So let's keep talking about it. Let's see how this evolves. This is just one snapshot in time, but tactics are at play, and we'll see how they're reflected in the numbers. I'll tell you one thing that'll add to the stew here. If I could do it again, my wife is way more successful than I am. I would have stayed home with the kids. If I could do it over again, I wish I had been with them. I miss them so much now that they're at college. It's killing me. And the little one wants to go to boarding school. If I could do it again, I would have stayed home. There's nothing I've succeeded at professionally that even comes close to how I feel about the kinds of people that we can help shape them to be. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.